52. It's been 52 years since the Civil Rights Act passed and everyone supposedly became equal. Well, guess what? It's 2016 and films about equality are still part of the fantasy genre. 102 unarmed black people were killed by police last year. One is one more than that number should have been. Repeatedly told to go back to Mexico. Let's even rise up with a poor white boy, the one who is told he is privileged but doesn't feel that way, and yes, this boy does exist. The boy who talks about the pool his family doesn't have and wears the shoes his mother can't afford. He was given everything right, so it must be his fault, right? Wrong, because as one YouTube commenter said, life can be hard if you're white, but life will never be hard because you are white. Let's rise up with a young Native American poet. She speaks wisdom, but no one listens. The poet who should be on this stage right now, the poet who instead has to hear a white boy speak for her.